What's going on, Genius Nation? Welcome to a brand new day, a day that you've never seen before, a day that you will never see again. As I always tell you, every day is a gift waiting for you to open it up and take full advantage of it. Welcome to the Daily Genius. I am Dr. Will, and as always, super excited that you are here with us, joining us on this ride. You know, we've been rocking for over 200 plus consecutive days where we've been showing up right here inside the nation to provide you with tips, tools, and strategies to assist you in becoming a better version of yourself and creating a life that you love. So always appreciative whether you're joining us live or on the replay. I appreciate you. For those of you that are on YouTube, I appreciate you for tapping in as well. Go ahead, if you haven't, hit the subscription button and the notification so you can stay connected. But more importantly, I invite you to become a part of the nation. What is the nation? The nation is our private Facebook group with over 1,000 individuals just like you, ready to become a better version of themselves and create a life that they love. So there's a link in the description so you can join us right here inside the nation. We would love for you to be a part of the family. All right, so it's Tuesday. On Tuesdays, I do a segment called Connecting the Dots. And I like to talk about mindset things. I like to talk about things that have worked in my life and in my business to get me to where I am. So today I want to talk about believing at a higher level. Believing at a higher level. Now, for me, for those of you who rock with me, you know that I am a Christian, I am a believer, and so my foundational truths come from the Bible. What I believe comes from the Bible. Now, I'm not opposed to whatever you believe. I just want you to believe what you believe. But I want to share with you what I believe. My foundational truths come from the Bible. That's where I anchor my belief system in. It's worked for me. I don't have a problem with it, so I keep on using it. So when we talk about believing at a higher level, according to the Bible, all things are possible to him that believes. All things are possible to him that believes. So belief becomes a crucial element to your success. Belief becomes a crucial element to you getting whatever you want in life. And so I want to just kind of reverse engineer this idea about belief, right? There's a time in the Bible where the disciples, they come up to Jesus and he's talking to them about doing something. And the gentleman says to Jesus, he says, "I believe, help my unbelief." Meaning he was at a crossroads. Like, yeah, I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. I've even seen it happen for other people, right? Have you ever been there? Like, you want something in your life and you've seen other people accomplish it. So you know that it's possible because you've seen other people accomplish it. But you're at a crossroads where, man, I'm just struggling believing it for myself, like that it could happen for me. You know, we like to be inspired by other people, like Oprah Winfrey's, Tyler Perry's, and we forget that these individuals started out just like they're human beings, right? Everybody is a human being. And so, but we tend to see other people and we begin to detach them, or we begin to see ourselves differently than them. Like they're not like us, like they're, you know, better than us, or maybe they had better circumstances or anything like that. But when you understand people are people, everybody starts, you know, from ground zero. Everybody starts from belief, like ground zero of belief, and you got to build up your belief for you to do it, because belief is connected to your actions, right? If you don't have a strong belief in something, you're not going to do it. I always use the example, if you don't believe changing your diet, drinking more water, exercising is going to physically change your body, then you're not going to do it. If you don't believe that it's going to have the impact that you want, then you won't be motivated, inspired, you won't be pumped up to do any of it. And so whenever I'm working with my clients and I'm asking them about their actions, if they're not doing something, I can always tie it to their belief. The issue is they're believing something. They're believing something, right? If they're not taking a particular action, It's because they're believing something. And so that's the work we got to figure out. We got to go figure out what you're believing, because what you're believing is stopping you from this action. And it could be anything, right? So we got to do a little digging to find out what actually are you believing that's stopping you from taking this action. Does that make sense? So anytime, you're not taking a particular action, you can always trace it back to what you're believing. You can always trace it back to what you're believing. And there's a glitch in your belief system, right? There's a glitch. We have our academy and our speakers academy. And so when I'm talking to the speakers and I'm telling them, you can earn 10K, you can earn 15K, you can earn 20K, you can earn 30K, 50K speaking. You just need to do this. If they don't do these action steps, I know there's a disconnect in their belief. And so the more I begin to talk with them, they'll begin to tell me, right? Well, Dr. Will, that'll work for you. Oh, see, your belief is that Dr. Will is the only one that can get paid $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 to speak. See, that's your belief. And so now we got to start unpacking that belief. We got to start finding out inside that belief system what's true and what's not true. Oh, you think that Dr. Will is better than you. That's what you believe. You believe that I'm getting this because I'm, better. Well, let's unpack that belief. Nope, I'm just like you. And in many regards, listen, I have dyslexia, I have speech impediment, all this type of stuff. If we just look at it frame for frame, man, you speak the Queen's English well. I stutter, I stumble over my words. So when we talk about articulation, man, you blow me out the water. So that can't be the reason, right? So that can't be the reason. Oh, well, Dr. Will, you have a book. Okay, go write a book then. See? We got to start dispelling what you believe. If you believe the reason why I'm getting this 20K keynote is because I wrote a book, okay, then let's write a book. If that's what needs to happen for you to get over this blockage of your belief, right? And so, do you guys understand that? So we have to then unpack, okay, what's hindering the action? What's hindering the action? And it's in our belief system. Another scripture says, as a man thinketh, so is he. As a man thinketh, so is he. So that means it all starts in our mind. It all starts with how we're thinking, right? How do you see yourself? How do you see yourself? Right? You got to have a positive self-image about yourself. You got to have an image of yourself crushing it. You have to have an image of yourself dominating. Do you see yourself dominating? Do you see yourself crushing it? Is that how you see yourself? Because as a man thinketh, so is he. So a lot of my success is built in my mindset. Like I saw myself, I've shared this with you before, my 101 list of things that I wanted to accomplish. I saw myself on stage. I have it written down. I want to earn 25K an hour to speak. I had that written down. So that's why I earned that. I saw that. I had a picture of that. I remember early on in my career practicing in my living room, setting up chairs in my living room, practicing my keynote, saying, I want to thank Microsoft for having me today. I want to thank, I would mention all these Fortune 500 companies before I started getting hired by Fortune 500 companies. I believed that. I believed that that was going to be my future. So I acted as if. So I carried myself like I was one of the top speakers. Long before, see, people, long before you get any of these accolades, here's, being named one of the top CEOs here in Arizona. Long before I got this award, I was acting as if I was one of the top leaders in Arizona. Like, once again, going back to my list, on my list, I have develop one of the top companies in Arizona. That's on my list. So I believed it before I even saw it. So, you know, before they named our company, I don't know if you guys can see this, but before they named us the #1 diversity company in Arizona, I'd already seen it. I'd already seen it. I'd seen it already. As a man thinketh, so is he. I had already seen our company, right? First company, Moreland International. I saw myself traveling all around the world. So that's why I named my company International, because I already saw myself traveling international. So before I was working with government officials and prime ministers, that's literally on my list. Work with government officials. That's literally on my list. That's literally on my list. Work with government officials. You know, most recently here, I got invited to the Vice President of the United States, her home, to acknowledge black business leaders. You're not going to believe this. You're not going to believe this, but that's on my list. Like, that's literally on my list. I literally wrote that down on my list. That's one of the things that I wanted to experience. It's on my list. And so when I tell you guys this, the reason why I speak with so much passion about this is because I live it. It's my truth. It's my truth. And so that's why I know, man, I'm so confident in terms of, I know it can happen for you because I'm no different than you. I'm a kid from Compton, California. They said Compton was the worst city in America. But I don't believe that was a limitation. See, if you believe it's a limitation, it'll be a limitation. I believe that's my advantage. I believe growing up in Compton, California has drastically given me an advantage. Why? Because my mindset is different than most people. Like, if you start from literally the bottom, the only place you have is to go up. Like, if you start from where they say that's the worst city, the only place you can go is go up. And now, you know, I tease my son. I just sent him a clip. We now live in one of the top cities in Arizona, right? Because all we had to go up. I started from the bottom, so all I had to do was go up. And so I always believed that that's where I was going to end up. And so I want you to take your belief to the next level. And here's the last thing I'll share with you. The Bible says faith comes by hearing. It's so important what you're hearing. That's why it's so important for you to check in with the Daily Genius. Because I'm only going to be talking to you. I'm not going to be talking to you doom and gloom. I'm only going to be talking to you about possibilities, what's possible. And so it's so important that you hear correctly, that you're hearing the right things. That you're hearing the right things. That's one of the most important things that I do is I guard what I hear. Like, I don't hear nonsense. I don't listen to nonsense. If it's not going to help me become who I want to become, if it's not going to help me do what I want to do, then I don't listen to it. And that's how I want you to be. Like, you got to fill yourself up with so much positivity because there's so much negativity out there. And so you got to think the right way and you got to hear the right way. And so since faith come by hearing, whatever it is that you want to accomplish, that's all I would listen to about people accomplishing their dreams. And so it made it easy for me to believe that I could accomplish my dreams. Because I'm not hearing about people who, oh man, every time I try to take one step, I take 2 steps back. Every time, oh man, crabs in the bucket. I don't listen to any of that stuff. I only fill my gas tank with premium gas. That's all I fill my gas tank with, premium gas. That's what I fill my mind with. Positive stuff. And so that's what I want you to do. So think at a higher level. Believe at a higher level so you can achieve everything that you want to achieve. All right, guys, as I always tell you, go out there and be your brilliant, amazing, genius self. Go out there and make someone else smile and laugh as you make yourself smile and laugh. And I'll see you right back here on the Daily Genius tomorrow.